All right, man, we got a crazy situation unfolding here with Mike Dechellis from Heroes Restoration. He has been arrested for racketeering. They're saying that the total value of stolen comic books is more than $300,000 worth. I wanted to make a video on this because I have had Mike Dechellis on the stream here a couple of times. As you can see here, 2 live streams. This is over 4 years ago, and they're live streams that have gotten more views than any other live streams that I've done, 21,000, 17,000, and I still get comments on them pretty often. And today I got a comment on it that was a little bit different from Art Boston. Says, Mike Dechellis has been arrested for theft of $300K worth of books he never returned to customers. He is alleged to have been selling stolen books on multiple eBay accounts and privately to dealers. So I did a little bit of digging, and sure enough, I found the article from Lebanon Local that the comic book restorer arrested for racketeering. So I did have him on stream a couple of times. Before we get into the article itself, I want to say I found him from the CGC forums, and I'm pretty sure it was before I even started the channel. I think I was just looking for somebody to press books, came across him, seemed to be a reputable guy, had a business, had employees, had a lot of people vouch for him. So at the time, you know, it was nothing even shaky whatsoever. I brought him on the show a couple of times. It was never like a paid sponsorship type of thing, but out of the blue one day, he did send me $200. I think he was like, what's your PayPal? This was back when I still had a PayPal. And I gave him the PayPal and just sent me $200 out the blue. And he said, thanks, man. I've been getting a lot of referrals from the videos that we've done. So I was always like, damn, that was cool. It wasn't something we agreed to. I never asked for it. He just did it just for the hell of it. So I was thinking like, damn, this is a stand-up guy. And I know that he did do sponsorships with Comic Tom for like 2 or 3 months. I'll let Tom tell that story, but I don't think that worked out the way it was supposed to either. And over the years, I've kept hearing more and more things about Mike. He's going through personal problems. People haven't gotten their books back. He's had them for a long time. So I kept hearing a lot of these things in the whispers, and now here today he has been arrested. So it says a former Lebanon man was arrested for a 6-month investigation into allegations that he stole valuable comic books from multiple people across the states. Mike David Dechellis, 57, of Umsville, was arrested August 14th, which was 2 days ago at the time of recording, and charged with 10 counts of first-degree aggravated theft, 7 counts of first-degree theft, and racketeering. The investigation began on February 5th when a victim from Maryland called the Lynn County Sheriff's Office to report he sent 4 comic books to Hero Restoration, located on whatever, back in February of 2019. So 5 years later, the guy got fed up. But yeah, February, it's a February. He figured 5 years, I'm not getting these things back, call the police. According to the Secretary of State files, Hero Restoration, principal place of business, was located on whatever for the first 4 years. He also registered an address in Salem and Lebanon. So the victim reported that the comic books had a value of nearly $62,000. He would deal in high-end blue chip keys. I'm pretty sure on the live stream that I had with him, he was showing off an AF-15. Like, he dealt and pressed big books and restored books as well. I used him strictly as a presser. I don't know if I mentioned that. Anyway, he also paid Dechellis, the owner of Hero Restoration, just over $5,000 for the restoration services he requested to be performed. The victim reported that Dechellis has not returned his comic books, had not refunded his money, and stopped communicating with him, which is something that I've heard from others as well. Shortly after receiving the complaint, investigators identified 19 other customers of Dechellis from out of state who reported similar circumstances as the first victim. They reported their valuable comic books were sent to Dechellis for restoration, large fees for the service were paid, and the comic books were never returned. So I think that's what makes it racketeering, the fact that he was paid for the services but never actually performed them, and what looks like just ghosted them, is using like a legal entity in order to perform a legal act, which is theft. So taking the money and the book, and now the alleged selling of said book on other platforms. I don't know if this article is going to get to that or not. The total value of reported stolen books from the multiple victims and loss of restoration fees totaled more than $300,000. The customers reporting their comic books were stolen from the states of Connecticut, Montana, New Jersey, Washington, all over the country. Investigators were able to determine that Dechellis filed articles of dissolution for his Hero Restoration business in 2023, with the Secretary of State's office. Investigators were able to determine some of the reported stolen comic books had been sold online, as well as to a private comic book dealer in Washington after the dissolution of Hero Restoration. So damn, part of the investigation determined that he did in fact sell those books that didn't belong to him. Investigators attempted to contact Dechellis regarding the complaint, but found he had moved and they were unable to locate him for several months. He was tracked down on August 14th, living in Umsville here. Investigators served a search warrant on the property where he was located and seized numerous comic books and evidence related to the thefts. So this is an ongoing investigation. I'm not here to bash Mike. I heard that he has gone through a lot of personal issues in his life. There may have been health-related issues as well. I don't really recall. But to bring attention, especially with the fact that he has been on this channel, and I'm going to have to link this in those videos now in case anybody stumbles across them. But also, let's go to where it all goes down, the CGC forum. So this is a post that was started back in November of last year. Hero Restoration, anyone know the latest? We're not going to go through the 76 pages of this, but let's look at the first post, and then we'll look at the most recent to see if we can get some more info. But Katina is saying, hey guys, just wondering if anyone has heard about Hero Restoration. I assume reading the old CGC threads and seeing his website, thanking folks for the last 13 years that they are filing insolvency. So I guess he publicly stated on the forums that he's done. However, I got an email earlier from Mike that he would like to be able to finish my comics this fall, and then a more recent email that states he needs to send my books back. I asked him to hop on a call and discuss, and he didn't reply. Anyone know what's going on? Thanks. P.S. Mike, I'm sorry if you're seeing this in the public. I just want to know what's going on and why I haven't heard from you. So I didn't know what else to do. This is an attempt to shame you. Just really want to know what's going on, as I heard you were filing for bankruptcy and just worried about my books being lost in the process. So here are more comments from back in November. But, this was a situation that a few people had books with him, apparently. All right, let's go to the end here. All right, let's see. So this is actually gaining traction as we speak. Let's go to, this is August 7th, 17 hours, arrested. Somebody says that's great news. Hopefully people will be taken care of. Yeah, I don't want to sit here and make a video bashing Mike. Any interaction I had with him has been cordial. I never had a bad experience with him, although people that I know personally who I've reached out to, but they're a little bit busy, have had bad experiences. But again, this is not so much a video to just bash Mike. It's a sad situation, but based on what the investigation shows, taking the money for the services, not performing the services, and then selling the books elsewhere, that's not good, man. Definitely not good. Let's see. Now they're sharing the article. Looks like most people on the forums are happy to see this. There was a lead story on the 4:30 radio news this afternoon. Kudos to the detectives and investigators who put this together. So somebody comments, the ASM 15 is mine, and man, it hurts to see it in the shape that it is in, on top of the fast and sloppy reassembly to try to get a quick buck for it. The detective has been great to work with, and kudos to my comic shop for putting me in contact with him. I am one of the complainants now, and I hope that others who got taken advantage of see this thread and find their books so they can get them back. Yeah, I mean, hopefully a lot of people could be made whole. It sounds like some people will not be able to, which I don't know what's going to happen with that. X in the Hilo says, wow, sometimes it feels like the law ignores smaller crimes. I know the dollar value is large, but I guess I've grown skeptical of law enforcement acting on things like this, so it's great to see justice being served here. Really hoping those who were affected either get their books back or are rewarded some sort of judgment and can get closure on this whole thing. All right, it's a nice take there. Let's see what else. All right, so that's it there. Then this was also on Reddit, of course. Just wanted to put out a warning to the community. It appears Hero Restoration is having some issues. Is this referencing the same thing? Now, see, this is a different one. This is from June of last year. Just basically saying, has anybody else experienced this, that he has not returned their books? All right, so I guess we pretty much get the gist of it. Crazy situation. You know, the thing that I always think of when it comes to stuff like this is like everybody is stand up until they're not. Everybody is legitimate until they're not. Anybody could fall. And it's just sad to see that this guy who had a reputable business, he had a lot of trust in the community, and whether it was personal problems or health issues or whatever that led to him making these moves that he made, it's just very sad to see. And I feel bad for the people that were taken advantage of. But I had to make this video, especially with, you know, people coming on the channel and seeing that he was on there and everything. So, damn, leave your thoughts on here, man. Appreciate you guys watching. Catch you next time. Stay minty fresh. Peace.